BXB. It's in the game!
Hey guys, it's me Ben, back with another of my quick reviews. This time I'm looking at, as you can see on the screen right now, Tokyo 42 by Smack Games and Mode 7. And it seems to me, in what should be the quiet time of year, every day seems to bring another interesting, exciting, different, innovative piece of indie gaming onto the Xbox and the PS4. And Tokyo 42 is no different. And each one of these games brings with it some brilliant ideas and in equal measures problems. And as you can see, looking at Tokyo 42, the first thing you notice is, wow, that's a striking look. Basically, Tokyo 42 sets you as this person who is framed for murder at the start of the game, and to deal with his framing for murder, he becomes an assassin and therefore murders a lot of people. It's a slightly strange story, and it definitely doesn't take itself seriously, and it's presented in these sort of very low-res cutscenes with some very interesting and weird characters throughout. But the main thing you'll notice is that Tokyo 42 is this isometric, extremely pulled back sort of action game set in this beautiful future Blade Runner-esque city, which is Tokyo, but with this sort of colourful, bright, cubist, almost like toy box appearance to it. It's quite unlike, sort of a bit tilt shifty, I guess, as well in that regard as well. But it's kind of unlike anything I've ever seen before. And as you get into the open world of Tokyo 42 and explore the environment more, there's always a new wonder to see. There's always a new interesting thing to you know, feed your eyes with. It's absolutely stunning to look at, and to a degree that does make up for some of the problems in Tokyo 42. Now, when you play this game stealthily, when you sneak around, you get your katana out, and you do things silently and try not to get discovered by the enemies, that's when Tokyo 42 is really interesting. Because as you're seeing from this video, the way the camera works is it's pulled back into this fixed position, but you can rotate it using the shoulder buttons, but it only rotates sort of 90 degrees each time to give you a look around the angles and the sort of obstacles of the city, which means combat can be very hit and miss. In addition to the camera obfuscation, you've also got this problem with height. You don't choose when you're aiming your weapon if you can fire up or down. That's chosen for you by the computer. Your aiming is only on the 2D plane, even if the environment is on the 3D plane, which can mean your firing of a weapon can be very, very inconsistent. It can miss when you are 100% certain it should hit, and it can completely miss. And the AI, however, are pretty much, they never miss. Their shots will always be on target, and you just need to be dodging them all the time. So there's definitely an unfairness to that. And the other thing is with the cameras, it takes some getting used to, but it's obviously a very specific stylistic choice. And I respect that they've gone for this style of presenting the game, which is pretty unique. I don't really feel like I've seen it in anything before. Coupled with this art style, it's a stunning experience. It never fails to look amazing. You've also got a really cool UI system as well, and there's lots of weapons to pick from. But basically, you're picking these missions in the open world. Story missions, there are side missions. You're picking these missions to go out there and assassinate people. And you have to decide how to encounter each one, how to deal with each one of these encounters, I should say. Be it stealthily, be it sniper, be it up close, use your grenades, use your katana, other various weapons, other power-ups and things like that. The whole experience is quite a surreal one. Obviously, this game is it's not meant to be real. It's meant to be sort of hyper stylized, sort of quasi sort of Blade Runner-esque setting. It's definitely not trying to be realistic in its approach, but things could definitely fall down when it comes to the actual gameplay. That gunplay definitely mars the experience for me. In a game like this, where you've got instant death, though you have very, very rapid respawns and multiple respawn points, you never feel like getting penalised that much. However, in a game like this, you'd want the controls to be incredibly sharp, sort of like a Party Hard or a Hotline Miami, where you feel like you're in total control at all times, or Mr. Shifty is another great example that just came out. However, in this, you feel like, because of the inaccuracy with the gunplay, that you are at an artificial disadvantage. And that's a bit of a shame when you're dealing with such a gorgeous experience. However, with style overflowing, with a great soundtrack as well, I might add, with synths and techno sort of aesthetic to it, which really fits the setting well, with all of these things working for it, beautifully, and even a fun sort of Assassin's Creed-esque multiplayer, if you remember the whole aspect of stealthing your way around in there and then trying to pick the enemies out of the crowd before you try to attack them. With all of that in there as well, you can kind of forgive the slightly dodgy gunplay just for the fact that this is such a unique, engaging and beautiful experience. So because of that, I'm going to give Tokyo 42 4 out of 5 stars.
BXB. It's in the game.